In the 18th century, America was under British rule. People worked hard on their farms, yet their lives were controlled by a distant king. The British government kept raising taxes but gave the colonists no voice in Parliament. Their cries for justice went unheard. Soon a slogan echoed through the colonies: no taxation without representation, a demand for fairness and freedom. In London, King George III and his ministers were furious. They believed America would always remain under British control. But the spark of revolution had already been lit. Ordinary people began to dream of liberty and self-rule. On a cold night in 1773, patriots disguised as natives boarded British ships and dumped tea into the harbor. It was the bold protest known as the Boston Tea Party. Enraged, the king sent more troops to America. He vowed to crush the rebellion. Red-coated British soldiers marched through colonial towns, enforcing strict laws and fear. But the American people refused to bow down. They picked up arms and prepared to fight for their freedom. In 1775, the first shots of the Revolutionary War were fired, and the battle for independence had begun. Smoke filled the air, muskets roared, and hope burned in every heart. They were fighting not just for land, but for liberty. Out of this chaos rose a leader, George Washington, a man of courage, discipline, and vision. Through freezing nights and hunger, his soldiers held on. They believed freedom was worth every sacrifice. They endured pain, loss, and fear, yet never gave up, because they fought for the generations to come. Slowly, the tide began to turn. British troops started to retreat. By 1776, the dream of independence had become unstoppable. A new dawn was about to rise. On July 4th, 1776, Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. It declared that all men are created equal. It gave America its voice, its soul, its identity, the birth certificate of freedom. People filled the streets with joy. Bells rang, flags waved, and hope lit up the sky. In 1783, Britain finally surrendered. The United States of America was born. This was more than a victory. It was the triumph of belief and unity. A new nation built on the idea of freedom for all. The Founding Fathers gathered to build a constitution. Their words, "We the people," changed history forever. Now every citizen had a voice and power. A true government of the people, by the people, for the people. America proved to the world that unity can defeat any empire. That courage can rewrite destiny. Where once there was tyranny, now shone the light of liberty. The dream had become real. Children waved the flag with pride, shouting, "We are free!" A new chapter in human history had begun. This story isn't just about America. It's about every person who dares to stand against injustice. Freedom is never given. It is earned, through struggle, sacrifice, and unity. Today, the American flag still waves high, a symbol of the courage that built a nation. This is the story of America's independence, a reminder that true freedom is never free.